I was not freaking out when I went in there. Like, I've heard a lot of different stories about a lot of ways that a lot of protesters are. Like, the police just raided a friend of mine's house. That actually happened. Thankfully, I was able to go and be held and them not realize that I was an activist, because I am able to not be seen as an activist. Like, with my name, there's a lot of other titles that come in my name before activist. For most cases. So that's just the different, connections that I have to the community, and I'm thankful. But I know some real activists that have been really going through it. Like, one of them is a UMD alum, Keon, that's his name. He was actually arrested. He was one of the people that at one of the 41, and he's a photojournalist from Maryland. He literally just graduated in May with a double major and something I can't even remember. But he's been doing this stuff with Ronan for like years, and just really documenting. And he got arrested, and all of his stuff got taken away and thrown in the trash. So, I'm just thankful that it wasn't worse for me.
Okay, so just to kind of clarify that point, you're saying that because you didn't clearly identify yourself as an activist, like, had you identified yourself as an activist, it would have been even worse for you?
For sure, without a doubt. They are without a doubt targeting activists right now in the year 2020, openly, like in organizing the sit-in that I'm like currently a part of right now. We have had the police follow us consistently. This is like the other day I was just walking. We had went to lunch and we were walking to the U-Haul truck. And so like this is me, same hat, and me and my friends, we're over, you can literally see the date and time, Howard University. And then 2 police cars are just posted up right next to the U-Haul truck that we're going to. We're just using U-Hauls, like literally the U-Haul is right here. U-Haul is literally right here. And we're just walking up to it, and the police, they're so pressed. One of them even crosses the street to go onto the other side so they can see what we're looking at when we open the trunk. Like, we're being targeted openly. And that's just the facts of the matter. There's no more or less media coverage that's going to make that stop that from happening with us. But that's just the fact of the matter. So yeah, I do think that if I openly said that I was an activist at any point, that it would have been worse for me. I was thankfully wearing a University of Maryland sweatshirt at the time that I got arrested, which I never, ever, ever do. I never wear Maryland stuff, not just by chance. I mostly because I really want to be purposeful with the stuff that I wear, so it's usually all by Black people. Like, this is a sweatshirt. It's by my friend. His name is Drewski. He is a comedian in Atlanta, and so like he has this really cool line of merch on the back. It has this big like thing on it. So yeah, I got this a couple months ago. I really love it. It's one of my favorite sweatshirts. But yeah, that day I was wearing a Maryland sweatshirt, and so I got to flex my student card law, and I was just like, look, y'all, I have no idea what I'm doing out here. I was just coming to protest the nomination. I got arrested at 8 o'clock in the morning, so I was just like, yo, like, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Like, I have class later today, which I did, and I have class tomorrow, which I did, and I had a meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning between Black Chirps Matter and UMD Discourse, which is a debate and discussion group that we're actually going to be having a collaborative action together soon, like a political speed dating event. So that's going to be super fun. But basically, I was like, please don't arrest me. Please don't arrest me. I'm just a student. They didn't care. Like, I'm not going to say that they gave me all benefit of the doubt. Like, they just cared less about me. But that was the crutch that I ended up leaning on. And so I think that's why they didn't do anything worse. But they definitely didn't give me any special treatment, and they didn't treat me nice. So I don't know. They could have known. Also, while I was there, all of my friends were calling, like consistently calling the central booking, trying to make sure that I was good and everything. So over time, they did start getting a hint of the fact that like people really cared about me. And I had, like, apparently because of the protest that I got arrested at, it was a walkout for the senators. I had Nancy Pelosi's office calling CCB, telling them excuse me, make sure that she gets out safe and good and everything. So I'm just thankful because when I was in there, they actually didn't give me any calls. I didn't even get a single phone call, so I couldn't even tell my mom or anybody that I was safe. And yeah.
Wow, that's insane. And I was listening back to our interview before, and I noticed you said that you don't find people inherently bad, right? So they're product of their environment. And I don't want to like OC press you on this, but like, so you say that, yet you're opposing Amy Coney Barrett. Can you kind of justify that? Like, why are you opposing her, given that you don't find people inherently bad?
I mean, it's because of the things that she's saying she's going to do openly and loudly. So if you're saying that you're going to do things that is going to stunt the growth of Black people and stunt the growth of the LGBT community and women, you're saying that's if elected, you will do things that are going to hurt us. What else do I have to go off of, really? You know, politicians are always going to pull politicians' dirty laundry out. There's also dirty laundry that Amy Barrett has, too, that I've never spoken on. I've only talked about her in relation to her role and her title and her job. And there's actually a James Baldwin quote that I just absolutely love and I constantly refer back to. And it literally says, I want to pull it out because it's right here. It says, the point is to get your work done, and your work is to change the world. So, Amy Barrett, what she's doing is changing the world in the wrong direction. She is talking about making abortions illegal across the country. Like, the stuff that she's talking about she's going to do is going to be against the work that I'm doing. And I believe the work that I'm doing is for the progression of the most vulnerable communities. And it is possible to be against the progression of the most vulnerable communities, even indirectly. So now, while I'm not, I do condemn, like, I mean, I don't even talk about Amy Barrett anymore because I feel like I did as much as I could do. And the act of me getting arrested, even though it wasn't on purpose, it was purposeful. Like, and the fact that the only charge that I did get was resisting arrest, like, that sounds so crazy to me. How do you arrest someone for resisting arrest? Literally, I want to show you because if I have it, I don't know if I have it. No, I don't think I have it. How unfortunate. But on my papers, it literally says the only charge that they gave me was resisting arrest, and that was dropped. I just don't get it. Like, any lawyer, anyone in the justice system, please tell me how this is right. Like, I'm really confused, you know? It's just like, I was at a protest. It was a protest that was being held by a national organization, Center for Popular Democracy. And it was also by Housing Works, which is another national organization, and Spaces in Action, which is a DC centering also advocacy organization. And so, like, thinking about those organizations, and I'm trying to get this clutter out of the back of my camera, but whatever. I don't know, they're national organizations, you know. In the space, they're kind of well known. I was arrested at their protest that they had at 8:00 in the morning. I was sitting on the ground before they put the handcuffs on me with my hands in the air. I was held for 27 hours. None of it makes sense. I was not allowed a phone call. None of it makes sense.
Plus, you were the only one arrested, right?
Yeah, so I got arrested, and then apparently much later, someone else got arrested. Yeah. Can you turn it off? I'm sorry. But I'm sorry. I got arrested, and then, actually, as a matter of fact, let me go into the other room. Okay. Hold on 1 second, okay? I'm about to get off the phone. So it's 5:39 right now. This is a guy from my school.
No, this is 3:15, babe. You need to do that.
Good to know. Hey there. Sorry.
Don't worry.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I mean, none of that makes sense. I'm sure like later down the line, I'm gonna be able to make more sense of it. But at this point, it's been a week and a day. Like it is exactly a week since I've been released. That was last week today, and I don't have any more answers. Just like a lot of people that are concerned, a lot of people think that I was targeted, and a lot of people think that they kept me for longer than 24 hours, even though they like literally were not supposed to be a little longer than 24 hours because they wanted to prove a point. The other people that I was talking about before that got arrested, they were held for 2 days. They were supposed to be held for 24 hours. And at the point, like for me, they let me go 15 minutes before the courts closed on Friday. For them, they kept telling them over and over again, 15 more minutes, you're going to go to court, 15 more minutes, you're going to go to court, and had them wait until the next day, just lying to them, straight lying to them when they knew that it wasn't the truth. And I think I was telling you too in the other interview, like my family was calling up and everything. They were calling. They were all talking about others. Like they were saying that I had a warrant out for my arrest in Maryland. They like all types of stuff. Like they were talking about I was gonna get a felony charge. I ended up only getting one charge. At first they said they were gonna try and charge me with felony riot. I'm like, are you crazy? There are videos out in the world of me getting arrested. There's a video of me being put in handcuffs, and then there's a person directly after me who literally, when I tell you their body went limp, like they were being dragged by their hands and their feet. They resisted arrest, if you want to call something resisting arrest. I walked over there. I asked nicely. I said, please don't touch me. That's all I said. As I was getting up, all of them had their faces in my face. I know in DC specifically, a lot of the police officers got coronavirus. Like they literally got infected over the summer. A lot of police officers. So I said, please don't touch me. Please don't touch me. I literally had my bullhorn. The only thing that I was saying to my bullhorns, please don't touch me. Because I believe coronavirus is real. Period. Like I'm not one of those people. So I don't want you to touch me, especially unnecessary, especially if I'm going to comply. So usually I don't have anything to say to the police. I don't talk to the police, but I'm gonna ask you not to touch me if you're touching me and you don't have consent. Like, and I said please, and then they put handcuffs on me. That's exactly how it happened. Like, there literally is nothing else to the story. And I, without a doubt, was not doing anything differently than any other people that were sitting on the. We might be different people. I was one of only two black people that were participating in the sit-in. That is something that made us different. But the color of my skin does not criminalize me. So, and I was the youngest person there. I guess if that's another thing that makes us different. But, those are things that I cannot change. So I don't think that I should be disenfranchised or arrested because I'm so different from everyone else. Like, that's like calling me radical just off of the pure face value. Like, because she is 21, black, has her natural hair out, she's different. Like, I didn't even say anything to them. I didn't say a single word to them, but they immediately put me in handcuffs. So that just goes to show, that we don't have our First Amendment rights right now.
And can you kind of talk about what it was like when you were finally released and there was like this outpouring of support for you? I saw on the Black Lives Matter Instagram, like they were constantly posting, pull up for Saba. Can you kind of talk about what that was like, just like what that was like for you?
I mean, it was crazy. Mind you, I had no idea that any of this was happening. So it's like, I feel like it's a whole portion of my life that I missed out on. Even though it was just one day, like so many people were concerned. So many people thought about me. Like, I'm not over here thinking that people are thinking about me. Honestly, I just get the work done. Like, I talk